Have you ever seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street? That was the typical like investment world. I mean, all kinds of just bad behavior was happening years ago.
I just can't imagine the things that you've been through when it comes to the industry that you're in and starting out, right?
Yeah, we have a long way to go on getting women into the investment industry because we really desperately need more women to be able to be financial advisors.
One thing that I've seen out there before is retirement's kind of this oxymoron, right? Because all of a sudden we've saved all this money to go out and do all the things we love to do, but now we're too old to do all of them. Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on keeping that purpose in life?
I don't know.
And are we thinking about this backwards? Are we too focused on work? Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, I think balance for sure, right? You probably need to figure out when. I guess it would depend on what your vision is of retirement. So going back to what you were talking about earlier, if you have this plan to do this world traveling when you retire, but you want to work until you're, I don't know, in your 70s because you love work, and now you've retired, is your health in a place where you can do that? Because I'll tell you, I just did a business trip. And traveling anymore, just getting through an airport is really difficult, especially for older people. Yeah. You're walking through these monstrous airports, you're traveling. And so making sure you maybe do some of that stuff, early on so that you can enjoy it versus waiting for, this, I've got to retire before I am able to enjoy that. And now I'm struggling because I have health issues and I can't, hike like I want to hike.
Yes.
Or things like that when I travel.
Yeah. So something to think about. Very good. Very good insight.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Flipping the switch a little bit. Let's say that we're early in our career, right? We're in our early 20s. Retirement feels so far away. Is that something I really need to be thinking about right then? Yes. Yes, okay. And yes.
I will tell anybody I know, my kids, you've got to start saving early. And if you've got a job that has a 401k and they do a company match, you take advantage of that company match out of the gate. And you start putting money, even if it's a little bit. I mean, just a little. Just get into the habit of putting a little bit aside so that you have that skill in place, right? Yeah. So that it just becomes part of what you do. When you get a pay increase, for example, let's say you get a raise at work, take some of that and put it back into your percentage match on your 401k or your percentage contribution on your 401k. And just you can increase it just by 1% a year, does a lot. And the earlier you start, the better off it is because of compounding, right? So you're going to see the results of that. But with that being said, I would say it's never too late to start. Don't let that scare you off. I think that scares a lot of people off because they think, well, gosh, I didn't start when I was 20 and now it's too late. Now I'm 40 or 50 and it's too late. Yeah. It's never too late to start putting money aside for retirement.
Okay. I love that. Let's say we do maybe still have time on our side, in addition to our employer's 401k and that match. Mm-hmm. Anything else? Any other vehicles that we should be thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, I say first of all, if you can meet with a investment, wealth advisor, that's the best way. I mean, a professional can sit down with you and really dig deep into your goals, your dreams, what you want to accomplish in life. There's a statistic that says that people that utilize a investment advisor, a wealth advisor, generally have 15% more of savings in their when they're ready to retire than someone who does not utilize somebody.
Oh my goodness! So just by meeting with someone,
just sit down and put together. They'll help you put together a plan. They'll look at different investment vehicles like IRAs, Roth IRAs, 401ks, other investments that you can get into. If you want to get into the stock market, you can do some of that. But they will sit down and ask you questions because everyone has a different level of risk tolerance that they're willing to take. And so it's not a one size fits all. And so I would say utilize an expert in the field to sit down and help you put that plan together and then revisit it every year because life events happen, right?
Yes.
Divorces, marriages, kids go to college, all these things, these life events that take place affect how you're going to move on with your plan to retire eventually.
Yeah. So what does it look like sitting down with a wealth advisor, right? Do I have to have $10,000 at least in my 401k to qualify for that? Do I, need to have somewhat of a plan already? What are your thoughts? Are there any requirements for that? And then to follow up with that, what do those meetings typically look like? Because that seems like a daunting thing to be like, hey, Monica, here's my money history and where I'm at. It's a little vulnerable, no?
It is, yeah. It is. And a lot of people will shy away from that because they feel like they need to walk in with a big chunk of money.
Yes.
Right, to sit down. I would say meet with a wealth advisor. We have wealth advisors here at Mountain America Investment Services. We have several teams available that can sit down with you and at least, let's say you don't have a lot of money to invest right now. They can at least have a conversation with you so that you understand where you need to go, right? And when you're ready to start putting money away, then that's when they put together a formal financial plan. It's really easy. They're wonderful people. They just really want to get to know your specific situation and tailor something towards that, your goals, your specific situation. And it's a really easy thing to do. They're happy to talk to anyone. They do free, it doesn't cost anything. So yeah, I would say if you're young, if you're old, sit down and talk to somebody. You can also use a trusted advisor if you know someone in your family that you can reach out to as well.
Okay. Love that.
Yeah.
So they're willing to help regardless.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. We want to help people. We want to help people get to that point where they can retire comfortably. There's a lot of people that don't have any retirement savings and they're counting on Social Security to get them by and Medicare to pay for their medical. And it's just not going to sustain them. It's just not going to sustain someone through retirement, especially if you look at people are living longer and women live longer than men. And so they're outliving their husbands. And if the husband is the typical breadwinner, this isn't the case all the time.
Yeah.
But it's the case in a lot of instances where it might be the husband's the breadwinner, and the wife is a stay-at-home mom taking care of kids. That's a typical thing we see. Not always, but a typical thing. And if the husband passes away first, does the wife have the skill set and does she understand the finances? Does she, is she prepared to handle those? Does she have a relationship with with a financial advisor? Or is she feeling like she's sort of left hanging and doesn't know which way to go?
Yeah, so I love that. Really important to connect with your significant other and get on the same page, right?
The whole family. And a wealth advisor, a really good wealth advisor will do that.
Okay.
They will meet with the entire, relationship, the family unit, and they will understand everyone's perspective, and they will have that relationship with both, spouses in that relationship so that they can help when one passes.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit more. You mentioned a lot of women are outliving their husbands, right? What does that look like? Do we, you've been in this industry for a long, long time, Monica. Is that something that obviously we're seeing as a trend?
Yeah.
Is that changing the way that you're giving advice to couples?
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think you really definitely want to make sure that both parties of the relationship are included in meetings. I'm going to use my mom again as an example. She's probably going to kill me when she sees this, but my dad passed several years ago, and she wasn't. They were from a time where the husband took care of the finances.
Yeah.
Right. And she was not fully prepared to handle what to do once he passed. As far as simple stuff like what are the passwords to our accounts?
Yeah.
To log in, didn't know those things. And who is the accountant I need to see around our taxes? And who do I go to for help if I want to pay off some debt? And, what questions can I get answered? And she went through a period of adjustment. It was really challenging for her to have to go through that. She's doing fantastic now. She's had a lot of help, and she has, an advisor that helps her through that process. But as women live longer, they've got to be engaged in the conversation around money in the house.
Yeah. And is it true? I've heard that a lot of times in that specific scenario, women often fire their financial advisor that their husband had.
70% of women will fire the financial advisor that their husband was working with because they did not have a relationship established with that individual. And they will go find someone else through, word of mouth, friends, whoever, but they will fire that financial advisor if they do not have an established relationship because they just don't know, they don't know where else to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I want to talk a little bit about that too, Monica, because you've been a female now in this very male-driven industry, investment services, and you've been in it for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, just as a culture in general, I feel like we're shifting to places of better equality, and this is for everything, right? We're opening a whole can of worms here, but just want to get your thoughts, not only as a female working in that type of industry, but also a female advising in that type of industry, and what your thoughts are, and maybe the changes you've seen and how that really affects people.
Have you ever seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street? Okay, that was the typical investment world.
Yeah.
Where it was this crazy guys doing inappropriate things, right? And I mean, all kinds of just bad actors.
Yeah.
Bad behavior was happening years ago, and not that long ago. I mean, I remember just starting out in my career and seeing those trends and seeing how you would be treated as a woman. I think it's a lot better now, clearly, because, we have a focus around diversity and all that. But I think it's still, we have a long way to go.
I just can't imagine the things that you've been through.
Oh, gosh.
When it comes to the industry that you're in and starting out, right?
Yeah. We have a long way to go, in my opinion, on getting women into the investment industry.
Yeah.
There are a lot of reasons behind that. A lot of women are afraid to work on a commission basis, for example. So being creative around comp plans and how people in the industry are paid to accommodate more diversity, to attract more diverse candidates into this particular role.
Yeah.
Only about 20% of financial investment advisors are women, and that's not enough.
Yeah.
We like to deal, a lot of people like to deal with women. Especially a lot of women like to deal with women. I think women bring a different perspective to the conversation. Women tend to be better listeners. I'm not slamming men on any of this, but women tend to be better listeners. We tend to have a little bit more empathy. And so we bring a level to a conversation that can help others feel more comfortable, right?
Sure.
And so we do have women advisors here at Investment Services, and they're able to then tailor those discussions to people who feel more comfortable talking to a woman.
Yeah. So are there advantages to having teams of both women and men?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think everyone brings a different level of skill set, right?
Yeah.
And everyone interacts differently to different, a different gender. And so diversity in this industry is really a hot topic right now. And you can go on and Google, diversity in the investments, and you'll get a lot of data that will show you that we're really underserving a population because we really desperately need more women to be able to be financial advisors.
So when it comes to females in investment positions, let's say there's maybe younger girls out there or older, right? Anyone, a female looking into getting into finances and the investment industry.
Yeah.
Any thoughts you have for them?
Yeah. I say get a mentor. I mean, if you can get a mentor that's a female already in the industry, talk to them, do some homework, find out if it's a career that is a good fit. But I think it's a fantastic career for women.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, and I love to, Monica, you're obviously a leader when it comes, to women at Mountain America Investment Services specifically, but that you're also willing to reach down and kind of show them the way.
Yeah.
Right. So when you talk about mentors, I feel like that's a really a key piece of this as well.
Yeah, if you can be a mentor to somebody, I mean, I always so I've been in the management side of things more than the actual investment side of things, but I find great satisfaction, I guess, in mentoring people and helping them grow and develop in their career. And especially if I can attract more females like myself into the industry, I'm always on the lookout.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts you have maybe for the men out there in the industry, right? Saying, hey, I mean, they're dominant in the industry for a reason.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously high performing, obviously getting people the results they need to retire. Any advice on this topic that you would give them as well?
I would say to the men, I just, be open to hiring a woman to join your team. I think is just really critical. And the value that they bring, it's going to make the relationships of the clients that you work with stronger, I believe. And it's just going to benefit everybody all the way around. But yeah, we've got some fantastic folks on our investment team, and the men included. I mean, they're all just amazing. I love working with all of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So going back a little bit to retirement, right? On our, for credit union members and the public in general, when it comes to looking for a financial advisor, what do I need to look for in this person?
That's a great question. And again, I always say this, everyone is different in the way they look for somebody that, for a financial advisor. But, what do you want? Do you want someone who is very hands-on? Do you want someone who is going to meet with you on a very regular basis? Or are you feeling like they can step back a little bit more? I understand investments myself. And so do I need someone that is going to be a little bit more, let's check in once a year kind of thing. But I'd say you want someone who's responsive. You want someone who really understands your goals, asks you really, really good questions so that they can understand your entire risk profile, your entire financial goals. And that to me is really important, is looking for somebody who's going to relate to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you kind of see, I mean, obviously you've been in this industry for a long time, but do you see that as people age, their interest and involvement maybe increases a little bit as they're nearing retirement? Because I just think right now, I'm like, oh yeah, once a year, that's plenty. I don't want to look at it other than that. It gives me anxiety. I don't want to really look at it. But now as I'm maybe getting a little bit closer, I'm like, oh, I should probably be looking at this at minimum quarterly, and meeting with them and making adjustments. Do you see that kind of as a trend, or is it just depend on the situation?
Yeah, I don't know if I would tie it to where you are in, lifespan or your age or closer to retirement. I think it's always smart to touch base when you have a life event.
Okay.
Right. So for me, it would be geared more toward what kind of life events are taking place, because you could be a really young person and with kids and maybe go through a divorce. Okay, now that's a different picture.
Yeah.
Right. That changes everything. Yeah. And so that's a perfect time to say, raise your hand and say, I really need to get in front of my financial advisor. I really need to have this conversation. Same thing with, if you've got maybe kids that are getting older and they're going to college. Okay, so how are you going to save money if you want to help pay for that? How are you going to save money to pay for college for your kids? And when does that start? Things like, gosh, I'm thinking of other life events. So divorces, marriages, kids going to college, loss of a job. I mean, if you think of those things, companies anymore, they go through all kinds of reiterations and they do downsizing, and all of a sudden all these people find that they had a job for a long, long time and now they've been laid off, right? That changes the picture. So I wouldn't tie it to really an age-related thing, but more so how does your life, what's going on in your life that's going to change?
Yeah, I love that. I love that because that is right when we've got to make maybe adjustments to our budget, adjustments to our future, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you go through a divorce, retirement looks a whole lot different suddenly.
Well, having a new baby, right? Now it's a different thing. Now it's like, okay, I now have this child I'm taking care of, and what do I want that to look like? And how do I want to support this child? Same thing with aging parents, right? We all have aging parents, and how are we going to be involved in helping to take care of them? Yeah. So, and we have life events happening all the time. So, One of the questions we really do like to ask our clients is, what's changed since the last time that we met in your life? And, let's talk about that and how that's affected your finances.
Yeah, because everything affects them, right?
Everything.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, any parting thoughts that you have, Monica, for people that are maybe hesitant to meet with a wealth advisor, don't feel like they really need one, or maybe just feel like they're not ready?
I would say you're always ready to meet with a wealth advisor. I don't think there's ever a time where you want to put it off.
Okay.
I really think it's important to save early, save as much as you're afforded to save. Obviously don't put yourself in a position where you're not able to pay your bills and things like that, but really think through, get into the habit of saving. The earlier you start, the better. But it's always helpful to have a guide, right, to steer you through that process, because it can be really overwhelming, and that's when people, decide it's kind of like, if I don't do it, it'll just go away. But
yes,
it's not going to go away, right? So yeah, that's it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, you heard it from Monica. Don't wait to meet with a wealth advisor. Make that appointment now. If you're a Mountain America Credit Union member, it's free.
Yeah.
Right?
We're happy to meet with anyone.
Okay, awesome. So make that appointment, you guys. Save now and enjoy retirement.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's all, right?
Yes, exactly.
Great.
But thanks to all of you for joining us. Thank you, Monica.
Thanks
for joining us as well. And we will see you all on the next episode of Guiding You Forward.